So one of the speakers here today is Sheila Fogarty, and Sheila has come all the way from South Wicklow. Sheila, you are one of the speakers and you are advocating for the set-up of an Irish animal welfare political party, because there is nothing like that in Ireland at the moment.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. 7 other EU countries have animal welfare parties that are actually full political parties, and their job is to lobby for legislative change. In Ireland, we have some parties with very good animal welfare policies, like the Green Party. Unfortunately, it's not the top of their agenda. So we need to form our own animal welfare party so that we can be a single agenda party setting out to make legislative change in Ireland for animal welfare. The issue has got to a crucial point now, and we really cannot wait anymore for other political parties to do the job for us.
Okay, so this is not set up yet in Ireland, and we can see the benefits of it, as it were. Do you think it will totally abolish puppy farming in any sense, or what would a political party, animal welfare political party, benefit?
Well, we now have in Ireland the new Animal Welfare Act. What we don't have is specific legislation through the Act. We also don't have enforcement or clear direction to parties who would enforce. For example, here in Cavan, the Poles puppy farm, which was featured on Panorama last week, actually had the county vet visited on 6 separate occasions and pass it as fit for purpose. I find that extraordinary, and so does everybody else here today.
But there is such a thing as farming of animals.
There is such a thing as farming of animals, but as Sue pointed out earlier, you can see that. You've got cows in the fields, you've got pigs in the pen. These animals were kept in tea chests with lids on them in the dark and drip-fed water. Just appalling animal cruelty.
He's doing that, Sheila, because somebody is buying them off him.
They must be incredibly ignorant, that they're unaware of what's going on around them. Having said that, I believe that some people have gone up to this person's farm, been shown in the kitchen, given a cup of tea, and were unaware of what was happening down the lane.
And is this what an Irish political animal welfare party would do, make people more aware?
Well, the grassroots organisations are already doing a fantastic job of that. The Animal Welfare Party would seriously lobby for legislation and demand change. For example, some people aren't aware that you make 1.5 million euros if you farm 100 bitches till they die, which is about 7 years.
Okay, Sheila, well, we wish you the best of luck with your organisation when you get set up. Thank you. So here we are with some people here, Charlotte and Rachel is from the Royal Rescue Centre, which is in Royal Dog Rescue, which is in Navan, and she's got 2 doggies here today, and she's got their stories. Rachel, the thing you talk about, the puppies that are reared in these puppy farms have got a lot of problems.
Yes, we can see Ben here, the golden retriever, and Ben was bought in a puppy farm here in Cavan, and they were told many lies about Ben. They were told that he was 8 weeks old, which is the minimum really a puppy should be before it's taken from its mother, and it was revealed then that Ben was only 5 weeks old when his chip card arrived. So Ben was separated from his mother very, very young. And as you can see...
What does that do to a dog?
If you look at Ben there, you will see his mother would not allow kind of hyperactivity. She would give him a nip. She would tell him what's allowed and what's not. And when they're taken from their mothers, they basically can be very either hyperactive or can be terrified.
So this dog displays a typical example of that. And what about their genetic? Is there any problem there?
Yes, Ben apparently has huge stomach problems. His owner
and how
there
could that be from B? Why could that be specifically from farming?
If you consider the puppy farms locally here, there's up to 300 bitches in that. How do you acquire 300? How do you acquire 300 females? You kind of, it is well within the realms of possibility that they're inbred dogs. So if you have a litter,
you cannot be sure of the pedigree of the dog because
you cannot. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers of females you have in there. Where do you acquire 300 females? Where do you purchase them from? So what you're doing is you're breeding large litters, maybe up to 7 or 8, and keeping some of the females.
Okay, so tell me some of the other problems. You talk about socialising a dog.
Yes, socialising. So basically, Amber here was a mother in one of these puppy farms, dumped, left to die. She had prolapse. She could make her owner no more money. Amber is terrified of everyone. So if you're looking to buy a puppy and you want your puppy to be good with children, to be good with people, to be friendly, to be social, you're actually going to a puppy farm to buy a puppy from a mother like this, who has been locked in a cage, who hasn't been socialised, who hasn't been around children, who hasn't been with all the things you've been told they have, and your puppy will display that.
So you're saying that the pup is going to come with psychological
damage? Of course, 100%. Been taken from its mother, it's the same as a child. A baby been taken from its mother, not having, the first few months that are absolutely vital for their brain development, for everything else.
Charlotte, you had terrible problems with your dog.
Yeah.
It cost you a lot of money.
Yeah. We had every few weeks we were running to the vet because what went down one end was just coming straight out the other end.
And you think that's specifically because it was puppy farmed?
From what I've been reading since, yeah.
So you were totally unaware of that. And again, what would your warning be to people watching this about buying a dog from a puppy farm? How do they know it's a puppy farm?
You see, that we didn't know. We came to this nice stable and we assumed that the mother was there with the pups and that the pup was 8 weeks old, ready to go. You see, I think they take advantage of people who don't fully know exactly.
Okay, so in general, the warning is make sure you know where you're buying an animal from, preferably somebody who's a lover of a dog and likes to breed.
Yeah, a family possibly that were going to neuter or spay their dogs and they got caught out, if you like, and they had a litter. Or go to your rescue, go to Royal Dog Rescue, go to Rescue Kilbracken and go to the pounds. Look and pick up your puppy there and spend the time socialising them and, adjusting to your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so well done, folks. That's it. You can see it's not as simple as anything to pick up a little puppy. You have to make sure the puppy comes from the right place and that you are able to handle your puppy and that he's socialised properly, or you're going to have great problems. And with me now is the organiser of today's demonstration, Lady Sue Kilbracken from Killygar in Carrigallen, County Leitrim. Sue, well done.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Sue, the question I want to ask of you is, when this Panorama programme came out, were people aware before this of what went on at puppy farms?
Yes, I think so. Definitely the people who work in rescue and who are connected with animal welfare were very well aware of the size and scale of this. Everyone was shocked by those images, but those were images. We think beyond that to the reality of what conditions the breeding bitches are still living in now.
Okay, so trying to get to grip with all of this, that is a business that has got its permission from Cavan, from a county council. They're working within the remit of the law. They've been inspected by the ISP, not with the Veterinary Association. They've been cleared and everything has been okay until now.
Yes, apparently, according to an interview with Andrew Kelly, who's head of the ISPCA that came out, he said that the ISPCA had approached Cavan County Council in November 2015 about that particular farm and asked them to go in and do something about it. And they were told that everything was okay, that they were working within the remit of the law. Now, unfortunately, the legislation needs to be changed.
So this is where you're actually coming from now. You want the legislation changed. Our legislation is 2010 it started, isn't
That's right. It's the Dog Establishments Act, or Dog Breeders Establishments Act, I think, of 2010. And unfortunately, it doesn't go far enough. There's no cap on the number of breeding bitches that any one puppy farmer can have. So he can have a license for, in this case it was 300. We know that there are other puppy farmers in County Cavan who have even more dogs.
So people looking at this and listen say, so come on, we farm everything else. We farm sheep in the field, we farm the pigs, pork sausages at barbecues. What's wrong? These dogs they're not been in danger of being hit with a car, they've been fed, they've been watered. What's wrong?
Well, dogs are not battery farmed, and basically your point is a very good one. I wouldn't agree with battery farming of any kind anyway, but that is another issue. Dogs are domesticated animals. Dogs need socialisation. They need to feel that they're part of a pack and a family. So to lock a dog away, a breeding bitch away, in what is effectively a coffin and have her puppies there, specifically for the purposes of selling those puppies for profit, is fundamentally wrong.
Okay, it seems that a lot of things are wrong there. It seems like maybe you could do anything within the remit of those laws, doesn't it? You don't have to declare your profits maybe, but we won't go down that road. So the thing that is so wrong is that these animals were locked up in a crate. Now, having said that, do you think if he knew of an impending inspection that he could change things around for the day and might get past? Are there things like that?
Well, that is of course a possibility. I have no evidence that that's what happened. All we know is that the Cavan County Council did make a statement to say that they had gone in to that establishment the day after the Panorama program was broadcast, and the whelping boxes that were used and seen in the program were no longer at that establishment. Now, I have a bit of an issue with that. Why was it okay the day before the program screened and not okay the day after?
So there are issues that need to be answered. So to get to the bottom of this anyway, Sue, the thing is, as some other people I have interviewed as well, be very aware of who you buy a puppy from. Now people are aware of what happens in puppy farms because of the Panorama, BBC Scotland Panorama program. By telling people not to buy these puppies, well, what will happen then? You know, will these dogs, what will happen then?
Well, unfortunately, what will happen is possibly what happened in my show in County Carlow, where the ISPCA went in and they released or relieved 345 dogs from that establishment. Now, tragically, I think it was 149 of those dogs had to be put to sleep. That was because they either had serious health issues or they were so severely traumatised that they could not be rehomed. One of the things I'd like to point out is that while those whelping boxes may not be there in that particular establishment, they're still using inappropriate drinking facilities for those dogs. Dogs don't suck. They're not gerbils. They're not rabbits. They lap water. Those drinking facilities, those tubes.
Surely it's in his own interest, though, to make sure the dogs are well looked after, because they won't be having decent puppies if they're not watered and fed.
Unfortunately, the puppies, once they're sold, there's no comeback. It's not like when you adopt from a rescue where there is. The dog breeders don't care as long as they've got your money. They're notoriously, they have different mobile numbers. They say that they're proud of their business, but they have a sort of showcase area.
So that's kind of the shady end of the business. Okay, so Sue, your last word on this. To people out there who may have bought a doggy from a pet farm, and people who might still do it, what would your word on that be?
Make your next dog a rescue dog. Don't buy from breeders.
Okay, so well done. So there you are, folks. Thank to Lady Sue Kilbracken from Carrigallen, who organised this event today, a very well attended event here today, and it made people very aware of what the points they weren't sure about. So that's it. You're watching Cavan TV News and Views.
There's no excuse for animal abuse.